last time on the Empire's Edge.
I wonder if there's any way this is like an outer protective wall to Sarn-Tar-Azul.
They try to sabotage it, so if we step on it, we fall.
As you're moving forward, you see that there are areas of the road that look as though they've been melted. You come right into an area, Jacob, where you pick up on lizard tracks.
Is this an offshoot of that one I spared and tried to get to become a paladin?
All right, so it looks like the losers went back to Bugbear Valley. The winners went the opposite direction.
We're kind of on a mission from God.
Personally, I think heading on towards Sarn-Tar-Azul is our best call for now.
You're imagining just way out there, some of the low hills you're seeing might actually be the ruins of Sarn-Tar-Azul. So you're traveling for days, you would expect, and Jacob is shifting the trail periodically. And I would think even with your minimal numbers, what's your modifier, Jacob, on your
Survival?
Yeah, on your survival?
10.
Yeah, so even with that, so you are picking this trail through, you're heading more or less due south, maybe just a little bit east from due south. And you can tell just from like your experience in your mind's eye that you're coming south into this area where before on the last trip you came into this valley from the southeast. So you're getting a perspective, you're looking at it from a slightly different side. And I would imagine you're always watching the mountains because that's a thing you guys had looked at when you were in different locations.
Well, especially after we're confident that there is a dragon somewhere nearby.
Yeah, within
where
a
was
mile.
the trench we have to fight through with the dragons, with the little wormy dragons?
What?
That was way, way off to the east. That's way,
never
and then
mind.
that was, and then, and still much, much further south. That was
But
almost
more
to the
importantly,
throne itself.
what?
Remember we had to fight the little wormy dragons?
You worm?
Grix?
No, they were wormy dragons.
Lizards?
That's how you got the Dragon Slayer name.
I think worm, like the young...
Wormling.
Yeah.
Yeah, the young dragons. Yeah.
YRM, not...
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wormy
I've been
dragon.
picturing them as wormy dragons.
Worm.
wrong.
Yeah, worm as opposed to worm.
Got it.
Purple wormy dragons.
Ugh.
One-eyed, one-armed, flying
Ooh.
purple people eater.
So I'm just going to roll an encounter die.
Half-dragon template on a purple worm. You're welcome, DM listeners.
Oh my god. Oh my god, no.
Right.
Frantically makes notes.
What a great idea. Yeah, I love it right now. So I'm just going to roll some encounter dice as these days are going by. And at this point, it's more like scrubland. There's low shrubs of different kind, brush, kind of scraggly trees, and a lot of open area, actually. So on the first day, there are no encounters. We'll assume you set camp, you're moving. Just let me know, is it going to
Setting
be...
watches.
Okay, is it going to be a fire in the camp and cooking food?
Yeah,
or-
I think
Yeah,
we're
I
the
think
biggest
so.
threat in the area, so...
I can't wait to be proven wrong.
Oh yeah,
Thanks for saying that.
Also, shut up.
God himself.
If the druid and the ranger would make a nature check just to see if anything's changed in the
I should
environment.
probably take out my dice.
I'm reasonably naturally inclined.
17.
12.
Oh, no, sorry. You said nature check. 13.
Hey, nature is wisdom. Oh, that's actually a 14.
All right, so
You
Jacob,
Zellened me. You got one higher than I did.
pretty soon that'll be that you were Jacob.
Yes.
So Jacob, you are quite sure that, again, if there had been a dragon in this area and you're moving into a dragon's territory, there would still be environmental shifting.
Yeah.
But you're not in this open area. You are seeing that there are, over on the horizon near a copse of trees and a stream, that there's mule deer. And then as you get into the second day, and I'll get into the second day's worth of descriptors of encounter dice, that you even see what looks like a, flock of axe beaks that are off in the distance from you. And they're moving about. Now, if there had been a powerful dragon in the area, you wouldn't even see these things out in the open moving this way. So it still seems strange that you got that cue of dragon, and yet there's just herd animals moving about through here.
I thought we got the cue. Oh, wait, no, we don't get distance and direction. Never mind.
Nope. Yeah, no. I don't even really get that great of distance.
Incidentally, flock is the correct collective noun for both ostriches and emus, so
Yeah, sounds right.
makes sense for
For an
do we
axe beak.
want one of those for dinner?
A choppy flock.
No.
The chopping block?
No, the choppy flock.
Oh. All right. So
He was making a pun again.
no axe beak for dinner. We'll just continue on.
All right, with whatever you get, rations and picking that. So everyone go ahead and make a perception. Jacob, roll it at advantage for your
For some reason, I thought you were
ranger.
going to say disadvantage. I'm really curious what that was going to be.
19.
11.
27.
All right, so Jacob, you notice that up ahead of you, and it happens periodically, there's a tree that seems to be leaning at a funny skewed angle. And as it's right near your path, you get fairly close to it just to examine it. And often, a tree is leaning against a tree, and it's growing at a weird angle. That's nothing unusual. But as you get up near this one, there's something different about it. The way it's near other trees, and again, they're small. These are just pine trees that are down in here. And this one isn't more than about 20 feet tall, that it is at a funny skewed angle. And do you do anything to examine it, or
There's no like horns like sticking out of the top of it. Like
No, much too small. The tree would only be like maybe a foot in circumference. It's not that big around. Like not much like bigger than your calf. Something like that. That it looks like it is loosely in the ground, as though something has completely undermined it.
Oh.
That its roots are loose or like knocked aside.
yeah, I'll go take a look at that and see.
It's concerning.
It's certainly weird. You've never seen a tree that looked like it has been either there's like a sinkhole under it, or that's been undermined by
Or a
really
brick tunneling
big
under there.
gophers. Yeah, something like that.
Dire
That,
gopher.
Do I see the telltale signs of dire gophers or gricks?
Or do you see it like the mound of dirt that something digging under it would make?
Sure.
No, there's no entrance to any kind of a lair or a burrow or a den or anything like that. No.
Are we in the area where gricks would be an issue?
Anywhere in the Brimroar there could be, but they're most typically in.
You are in a place that exists.
Well, why
yes.
don't you cast that thing that tells you what's around?
Mine is specifically about a small list of things.
That, and it's shatteringly vague.
It is extremely.
It isn't the kind of detail that you would like. Well, let's break out our shovels that we don't carry and dig here for a day. It's just anomalous.
How do you know I don't carry a shovel? You're right,
you're
but how
right.
do you know?
I read your character sheet. That
Yeah, do it.
And so then you proceed on from there. And at any point, if you guys want to say you're changing spells out or doing something else, let me know. So we're getting into the third day of traveling through this area. Now, again, I had described it, and again, this is more for Jacob than anyone else, that you can tell that away south from when you first got into the valley is where Sarn-Tar-Azul should be. And if this had been whatever it was, 1,000 or 2,000 years ago, you'd even see the city from this distance. So you're getting closer and closer to it, but it's just that there's really nothing left to it apart from a large overgrown area. By the third day, you're getting into some more trees. There's still some open areas that it'd actually be nice for farming, that if somebody wanted to till these areas that are still cleared.
Make a note of that on my map.
Right. So I have them written down somewhere, but just name your passive perceptions for me, starting with Zelen.
Don't start with somebody else. Oh, 18.
That's just 10 plus your perception, right? Yeah, 20.
It's on my little chart. It even says it. 18. What?
2.
Not quite that bad. 12.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
I
so
don't have a -8 to perception.
no one is surprised, but I'm going to roll a six-sider to see if this is Zelen or if this is Jacob or this is Boris. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, respectively. Boris, you are being attacked.
As is the
It's as though the ground is welling up beneath you.
Oh, dang.
Armor
I hit it with a
class?
hammer.
Armor-
20.
And you would think this would have advantage or something, the way that this thing
No,
attacks,
because we're
but-
not surprised.
I know, but I'm just saying you think it would for where
I
it is.
hit the dirt with my hammer.
as hard as I can.
Compact it.
And it misses, but go ahead and make a dex saving throw for me.
Darn.
That as this happens and you're all like looking in his direction, I'm guessing that Jacob's out front. We didn't talk about distances between each one of us.
Guess what I forgot? My saving throws are all amazing. 17.
Okay.
I was looking at my modifier. Are they within 10 feet of me?
That's a very good point. Let's assume you guys are walking about 10
We
feet
just
from
turn
each
around
other.
and he's not there anymore. Like, I guess he had something better to do.
That Jacob is out front,
Yeah.
that Zelen is in the second position, and Boris is third in the line. That as you two hear this sound of...
You're all getting a +4 to your saving throws because you're within 10 feet of me.
Oh, joy.
that'd be Zelen is, but Jacob's too far away. He's closer to 20 feet.
Oh, if you're taking up the rear, yeah.
That
I just
it
work
sounds like a great like a landslide or earth being like shifted very quickly. And as you turn and look, Boris has just jumped aside. He's not been knocked down or injured.
I was hoping to surf whatever this was.
But a massive looking thing, almost like cylindrical, but like huge, like a rhinoceros or even small elephant in width, comes
I'd like to roll to know what a rhinoceros or an elephant is.
is pushing up through the ground. Large, very like jagged beak has tried to snap at him, and it's whipping around as though it wants to make another attack.
See, I'm gonna need you.
Is it up? Is it up now out of the ground, or is it still partially in the ground?
partially.
I'm going to need you to use terms that exist in the milieu to describe how big this is. Compared to a cement mixer, what is the size of this creature?
About the size of a cement mixer.
Ooh.
So
A large cement mixer or a small cement mixer?
What are the truck ones?
go ahead and roll your nits.
Okay. Oh,
Can that count as a saving throw?
All right, so give me your numbers.
3, take it or leave it.
8.
Wow.
Oh my gosh,
You've
are you
been-
kidding me?
You've been asking that
I
a
rolled
lot
on that
lately.
one.
I rolled a natural 3, so
You keep asking me for dexterity things.
Sorry.
how about an
or
8?
intelligence things or wisdom things.
So, Zelen, what do you have?
14.
All right.
Right. And Jacob?
8.
Like, if I could roll...
Is it stormy outside right now by any chance?
It is not.
Dang it. Why is it
The one
never
time you wish the
stormy?
clouds were back
Right?
and still here, right?
Now, you can see about 3 days behind you, there is still clouds around that ridge in the mountain you came down from. So if you were
Doesn't
way
help
over
me.
there. Okay.
What
All
is
right,
it? That
That
place is
doesn't help
Colombia?
me.
All right, then at 14, you are up.
Oh,
Zelen.
nice.
You're going to need to give me a minute to think.
Okay.
Do you not know exactly what you want to do at any moment if
It's
you're
a
randomly
game
getting
time
attacked?
minute, and the time is up.
That's how it works.
Okay, I'm going to call lightning.
Thank you for picking up on that psychic impulse.
I'm calling lightning. And
Lightning.
I'm calling it so it just hits
I didn't
whatever this
hear
thing
it.
is.
I just didn't hear the lightning come.
You've been sent to voicemail.
And so
Can you text lightning instead? I'm in a meeting.
And I get a dex save, right? For half?
yes, dex. The attack save is a 16,
Nice.
and
Okay.
I throw
Oh, no.
3d10.
Okay,
Did
twist
I
it.
mention that you've also got a
Twist it up.
minus because you're in my proximity? I wish, right?
I just rolled my save, or the monster save, as a natural 19.
14.
Okay, take 7. Got it. So a little bit of cracky boom, but not a lot to show for it. And that
Bite
was
me.
Oh,
it's attacking.
No,
it will.
bite me. Okay,
It's attacking Zelen.
then it's provoking an attack of opportunity for me.
Twist it.
Is it by chance a fiend or an undead?
It is not.
Healing word.
13 versus armor class.
What did I just cast? Lightning. right?
Misses. And
Call lightning.
Why did it
Zelen, what's your
provoke from
armor
you?
class?
Hold on.
Attack of opportunity.
why did it?
Because it
Pass.
moved to attack Zelen.
Oh, gotcha.
Fast. What do I have to do?
What are your armor class?
Armor class.
It's that really low number at the top of your sheet.
16.
Oh, not that low.
That's not that bad at all.
16 being the worst in the party is pretty dang good.
Yeah.
And my monster rolls a 17.
Oh.
Nice. So I think
That's twice you've been Zeland in this.
Yeah, how about that? All right, so I need 2 12-siders, please.
What?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I need 1 12-sider. Oh, no, never mind. I got all 12-siders I need. Ha
Who has 4 12-siders in their box? Like,
Apparently me. Okay, so you got, well, that's a natural 12 right there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24, 25, 6, 7, 28 points of damage zone. This
Swear
thing
word.
I don't trust any of that, Matt. You
This
did it way
thing-
too fast.
bit you for, what did I just say, 24 points, no, 28 points of
I'm
damage.
going with 24.
28.
Take it or leave it.
All right, so big chomp like that, and then it is Jacob at 8.
Oh, boy. I'm going to shoot it
All right.
twice.
Hit
So,
it with a rock.
You are already seeing that part of its movement.
What kind of arrows are you using?
It looks like it's going
fair point.
back underground.
Are you casting any spells on it?
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Jacob?
Yes.
As it's doing its, during its round, it did its attack, and then its move, it's starting to submerge.
Okay, cool. Then bonus action, Hunter's Mark, and then firing 2 shots at it. First one, Heartstring. Ooh, natural 19.
What kind of arrow?
Hit.
With the... Oh, I said Heartstring. I'm going to say Owl Arrow. Heartstring, of course, because that's my bow.
Yeah.
31.
To hit, yes.
Yeah.
hits.
Okay, cool. And then
I always have to double check that your numbers that you roll, it's like it sounds like a damage instead of a
and
hit.
18 for the other hit.
Okay, they both hit.
All right, cool. And then that will be 2d8 plus numbers. 4, 12, 14. What is that? 26. 26 points of damage.
Okay, taken.
Oh, and 1 more point of damage for Hunter's Mark. Is that per shot?
Yeah,
or
it's per shot.
Okay.
And you would get
Colossus Slayer.
on the second one.
Oh my gosh.
Well, technically on the first or the second one.
There we go. Okay, so then plus another 6.
Another.
All right,
was
so-
another 6. You just rolled an 8-sider though.
Yeah. The Colossus Slayer is an 8-sider. So the 1 for Hunter's Mark, and then another 11 for another Hunter's Mark and Colossus Slayer. That was a nice hit.
That was a nice hit.
Like 30, almost
stuff.
40 points of damage.
All right, and then Boris.
Okay, bonus action to hex it.
Okay, done.
I will give it disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Very nice.
And
and you have advantage if you hit it because I
Yeah.
shot Owl Arrow.
All right, and I'm attacking with the hammer. It's either either a 14 or a 24. So I'm gonna go with the 24 versus armor class for my
Makes
first
the
attack.
most sense, yeah.
Hit.
Oh, yeah. That-
For you?
And
No.
another 24. That's
Very nice.
2 natural 14s. Let's see. Is it by chance a fiend or an undead?
it is neither.
Darn, I want to use that. I will smite it, though, using... Let's see what I have to hand.
I don't know how many D8 you're going to need. I'm just going to put them both right there.
Yeah, I will happily take both of them, and...
And I've cursed those 2 so they roll low. Go ahead.
Okay, I will use the one that doesn't. All right.
It's so hard to read.
It's a backward 7, or maybe a 2.
Thank you,
see.
Elven Die.
That is 13 magical bludgeoning and 8, 10, 13 radiant and 1 necrotic. For the
Got
first
it.
attack, I'm using a second level slot for the second as well. Let's see.
that one's a forward-facing 7.
Deal. And this one is 14 magical bludgeoning, 4 necrotic, and 18 radiant.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow. Yeah. Big hits. Almost 40 just right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Hang on. Doing math.
we just decide to keep on hitting it while it's too busy calculating how much damage it's taking.
No, at this point, it is gone.
Oh,
It is back underground again.
Can I do something anyway?
You can do something. I'll let you know if it works.
So I have a spell called Plant Growth, and the spell channels vitality into plants within a specific area.
Mm-hmm.
I want to channel that vitality underground into all the roots under there to make them all like super grow so it can't wiggle around underground and pop up someplace else.
Okay.
Or at least it
so,
can't do so quickly and efficiently.
So then what's the area of effect? How's that described?
150. Oh, that's the range.
Yeah, so what's
but
the-
it's also area. Range/area is 150 feet. It says the spell channels vitality into plants within a specific area. There are 2 possible uses for the spell, granting either immediate or long term. If you cast the spell using 1 action, all normal plants in a 100-foot radius centered on that point become thick and overgrown. A creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves.
Okay, noted. And so you've cast that spell, and it's not coming immediately back up, but it was still very much alive when it went down into the ground.
So can you check it? Can you find it?
do we know what
I'm pointing
kind
at
of...
Jacob.
I like I said, my list is aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fey fiends, and undead.
How big is this? Or you can look to see where it's disturbing dirt.
Yeah, I can.
How big is this thing?
look with my eyes?
This thing was about, I think it's about,
Big cow?
yeah, like 10, I think it's closer to 10 feet long.
Okay, yeah. So
I look with my eyes.
it's disturbing a lot of dirt.
21.
So you are seeing where, after the spell's gone, that different smaller trees and like the brush that's in this area, it's pulling this way and that. You'll actually see different trees oscillating and moving about. While you're doing all of that, Jacob, go ahead and make a survival check.
Ooh. 30.
Wow. Yeah, you survive really, really well. You can see there is rockier ground that's just to your south. It might take you out of this area too.
Okay. I point that out. If we want to just get
Yeah.
away from this thing and avoid having to continue fighting it.
What do we want to do? We want to leave it or we want to try
I
to
can't
kill it
imagine we're gonna get great
underground?
loot from a random thing in the woods. All we're doing is risking it killing us.
We might get a lot of bullets.
Wow.
I read too much of the monster manual. I know what the thing is.
So what do we want to do? Do we want to try to kill it, or do we want to?
I'm all for killing it.
That's my vote too. Is there anything that we can do to the ground? Like, I'm wondering tidal wave. Could I cast tidal wave and drown it in its little hole?
We is a big way to say you.
I was going to say,
You conjure up a wave of water that crashes down on an area within range. The area can be 30 feet. Each creature in the area must make a saving. Takes 4d8 bludgeoning, knocked prone.
but either way, we're still going to have to find it again because it's moving away
Right,
from
because
us.
it's underground.
Yeah, I can Eldritch Blast the dirt.
Cool.
I don't know what that does.
Nothing.
Oh,
So me watching it go away, does it seem like it's retreating, like running away from us, or like circling back to?
It looks like it's making, whenever you see these things like moving here and there, it's gotten out of the range of that spell.
Okay.
But it was making an arc going away from you. But if it continues that arc, it will just loop right back into where you are again.
I'm
So
still trying to figure out what kind of legendary action shenanigans it pulled to move on not its turn.
it said that it was moving on its turn, but it just I played that as it's taking some time for it to burrow because it could have just burrowed under on its turn.
Oh, it did its
again.
attack and then moved?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, because it has a burrow of 40 feet. So it looks like it might come back into this area again, circle back into it.
Okay,
but
then I guess
there's
we
no way
can.
to tell.
If you just want to continue along the path, there's a good chance that it might come back and hit
I
us
wonder
again
if
for
there's
another round.
I wonder if there would be a terrain that we would have an advantage to fight it in.
The rocky stuff that I was.
You
that
think
I saw,
so? Why would we have an advantage for that?
It wouldn't be able to burrow into it.
Or at least not as easily.
All right, so let's
Yeah,
beat
go that way.
feet to get there.
Okay.
Holding, using move action, but holding action to attack it if it breaks surface near me.
So
Okay,
yeah, we'll
well,
move at half speed just so we can be prepared to
Well,
attack it.
We'll move at our move speed.
Well,
Just
yeah,
not-
not using the
not
dash action.
dashing,
Yeah,
yeah.
so moving half as fast as we could.
Normally,
Yeah.
then you close then to a more rocky area with within about a round and a half. It's just not that far away from you.
Okay.
And as you get up onto that, you can see that it's a little crest of stone. And you can see, looking back over your shoulder, Jacob, that there are spots where it is still, that trees are, bowing slightly, or they're moving, shifting from underground, and then it just stops moving. And then there's another spot further along. It looks like it is actually circling back to the spot where you were before.
All right. Constantly pointing that out to them as it's moving
Okay, so everyone roll a perception.
with advantage because I'm pointing it out, or
No, just roll a perception.
differently.
Nice.
Oh, bad. 9.
Okay, what's the nice there, Boris?
21.
Yeah, so 21,
The
Boris.
second highest I can do.
The moment you get there and you see Jacob is looking back in the direction from which you just came, and it would make sense then that you're looking in the direction you're going to see just what's out over there, you see that there are just a couple of bricks worth of what seems to be a wall or a ruin that's in the side of this rocky area. There's a little bit of a little crest of a hill that you're just on, and the ground goes lower as you go further south.
Some kind of ruin behind us.
Behind us is in.
Behind us is it's
Well,
in the direction
turning
you
to
moved
face
into.
the hostiles.
If you're,
Okay.
Yeah, facing the direction where the monster is, then it is behind you.
Will it give
Okay.
us any defensive advantage, do you
Negative.
think?
But it might be the first signs of civilization for
Yeah.
Sarn-Tar-Azul.
Outer limits.
Do
yeah.
we know, would this be outer limits of it, or would it be like another potential correlated watchtower?
You would think that this is probably if this is a building associated with Sarn-Tar-Azul, it wouldn't be part of the actual city or even outskirts. You're still
Okay.
just a little too far away.
So, yeah, whatever it is, it's worth looking into, but maybe not right this second.
Concur.
So looking again, making sure I keep tabs of the moving trees and angry weevil monster.
Okay, so let's call it the next 10 minutes as you're looking
The
at
burrowing armored death hippo.
So hold on. Because I have Call Lightning, I have it up. It stays up for 10 minutes.
Is plant growth a concentration spell?
It is not.
Okay, yeah.
You just want to just keep raining
yeah,
down random
exactly.
lightning bolts?
Can't I just keep shooting lightning bolts at it? Because maybe even if it takes
Close
dirt
enough to the
damage
surface, yeah.
or something, I mean, why
it.
not?
Okay, so you're tracking what Jacob was pointing out to you, where
and
things are moving.
I'm just going to keep going.
I love it. That's one per round, I think?
Donate to us on Subscribestar, so please
I
we
know.
can get a
Yeah,
camera
right.
in this room.
No
You
kidding.
deserve to see what just happened.
It's not going to be pointed at the three of us. It's just going to be pointed at Natalie, so you can see whatever that was.
And also, please, let us go into more ventures, so that way we can create our own sound pack for you to use during your own games.
Yeah,
The
right.
Zelen Special Effects sound pack
I
available only
love
from the
that.
Empire's
That's
Edge.
terrific. So, Zelen, let's say it's been 2 minutes since you first cast the spell.
Okay.
You've crossed to this area. You seem relatively safe on this rock. Boris has pointed out this little piece of a wall. Jacob's tracking where there's movement.
Ready to shoot at or hit with hammer.
And you pull one down. Roger that. And so you call lightning down.
Yep.
Roll it.
9.
That was the total damage on that?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
I'm just gonna keep on just zapping. Ooh. Yeah.
Those are
12.
some numbers.
All right.
You're at the other end of the table, and I can't pick those up quite as well from this angle.
Boris, in the opposite direction around you, nothing else seems to be stirring or moving.
10-4.
Woohoo! 9 and 9.
And 7.
Thank you. So 25.
A 9 and 9 and L. How did I roll an L?
Okay.
How many of these do you want her to do?
How many times am I allowed to do this?
Until he tells you to
So
stop.
1 per round. And
Oh,
2.
look, that's a 0. That's a 10.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I get excited. 25.
Okay.
Take a quick perception to see how much of the forest is burning.
Really none. I think
Okay.
there
A
might
little
be
bit more
some spots
every
where,
time.
what's that kind of, that stone sand where lightning strikes it? Anybody call the name of that, where you see
No
that?
idea.
So it's where the stone's been fused into a glass-like rock. And
But
it's
that
got to
also might
conglomerate.
make it harder for him to pop up
Sweet Home Alabama.
or her. If it's
Sure, we'll go
if
with
I'm
that.
like if I'm
We
like
just invented
baking
Alabama.
if I'm making glass on the top of the ground, that could be harder for this
More
thing
like
to
in-
break
more
through.
like in spots that go
Fulgurates.
down, fulgurate, yeah, that goes down in.
No, I could be
Now,
completely misremembering it.
At
but
one
the
point,
movie.
you've done like 3 like in a row, and Jacob's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I don't see any movement out there anymore." So
Yeah, I don't believe it.
you cracked the last 3 in the same relative area, but there's no more movement from where this thing was.
I still got the spell going. I
Yeah,
might
you
as
might as well expend it all as one single ultra blast.
Everything within about, I don't know, 50 miles just see lightning going, bang, 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 in the same area. So
Anyone at a
Says
distance,
lightning-
God's going F
lightning
this spot in
doesn't break
particular.
through.
is that, yeah, some god very angry. So you cracked this
On
thing
Sarn-Tar-Azul, that might be fitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Okay, so what do we
so
want? You want
We'll
You've
wait
done
for a
that.
little while to just continue looking to see if.
Yeah.
How long's a
stand
little
by.
while, Jacob?
15 minutes.
Yeah.
All
go
right.
poke it. Go poke where it was.
I go poke it. No, I
I'm
don't.
kidding.
Yeah. Seeing as you have least hit points.
10 minutes,
Well, actually, she's down. She's below her maximum. So
Yeah,
I'm not
I
gonna-
am.
12 minutes, no movement.
Okay.
Nothing else has moved.
All right.
It's either
And-
dead or driven off.
Any game that you did see moving about on the surface before, it is so gone.
Oh.
Yeah, it is just so far away.
Well, good job. Let's go look at that house.
Bit of wall.
Hey,
Bit
you know
of
what?
wall.
I'm actually going to take a minute and heal myself.
Takes a full minute to heal you.
All right.
I'm going to use healing word.
Well, let's
You- yes,
let's save your spell slots and just use lay on hands. How many hit points are you down?
24,
28.
28.
Why'd you
Um,
ask?
Be polite. I use lay on hands and give you all 28 back.
Wow, that's awesome.
And
Great to have
have
level, isn't
another
it?
like 7 left in case of emergencies.
You really like healing word just because it's a quick bonus action, but if you have all the time in the world, cure wounds or whatever the.
It's a startlingly inefficient way to heal yourself.
It really is. It's not very good. I don't have very good healing.
But no, cure wounds is like the base level healing spell that everyone has.
But that's also a cast, so it still uses.
Well, yeah, no, still uses a spell slot, but rather than it'll heal more than cure or healing word will.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay, so
So I'm feeling good.
yeah, you do. You feel like you've definitely made glass out of sand,
Yeah.
and at least
Oh, thank you.
you've driven a thing off or possibly slain it. You're not sure which one.
And since we don't get experience, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, go dig a hole to
Yeah,
make
but just
sure.
out of curiosity, are you allowed to tell us which one?
Oh, I'm allowed to tell you, sure.
Would you tell us?
Nope.
Okay.
So you are at the top of this. It's a little bit like a rocky bluff where you are right now. There's it's more stone than it is dirt right here. You don't believe he could have come over here without launching himself completely out of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And
My
after that,
brain
we
is
would've
so
seen him.
twisted because I was getting ready to roll an insight to call its bluff, and I completely didn't realize what you were talking about.
Oh.
I zoned out for just a second. I heard bluff. I'm like,
Other
oh,
kind of bluff.
Okay, deception. I know how to do that.
So Boris, you're facing in that direction now. What are you doing or looking?
pointing out the wall to them lot because they're the ones with the investigating skills.
Yeah. And I
right,
investigated.
Unless I can do a siegecraft at the wall.
So you certainly could. You've got to get closer to it if you want to do more investigation. It's still about 20 feet, 30 feet away from you guys.
Yeah, I think
24 on a siegecraft.
Yeah.
That means
So
I'm
okay, so
omniscient,
we're
right?
approaching it
Yeah.
to go and look at it.
That you are really impressed that even though the upper part of this building has been destroyed, that you have to wonder what destroyed it, that the stones you're seeing aren't just loosely sitting stacked on top of each other, that whatever cements them together is still intact.
Guys, that wall is still a wall.
Yeah, nothing unwalled.
I rolled a 24 at it. It's definitely still a wall.
I rolled an unnatural 20.
As Jacob gets closer to it, he said, well, that is interesting too, because even though I can see the footprint of a building as though the wall got washed off by a tidal wave or something, you see within the footprint of this building, within this just like a couple feet of wall on the reverse side, it was just a line of brick on the other side, just a couple of inches of it. But there's a few feet when you get down over the hill just a little bit, that there is an open, almost cave entrance, and you see stairs going into the ground.
Oh boy.
So I rolled an unnatural 20. What do I see?
All that same stuff.
Apparently the DC was very low for that
you
check. 'cause
Okay,
I-
so let me
too.
make sure that I understand. So it looks like a room.
Yes.
It looks like a room.
Encased with low lines of brick that
Defined by
almost
them.
have like slid down a mountain. So they're all completely still, like the corners are still touching and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, nothing
And
slid.
then-
Nothing slid, though.
No, you said it looked like it did. That it didn't, but that was kind of the appearance of it.
There was a sound like a rock slide earlier, but
And then there is a cave entrance with stairs going down.
Yeah, there's definitely an opening that looks like it was once part of this manufactured building.
also let me get this straight. I saw the wall, but not the stairs.
From your side first, all you saw...
Teasing.
Okay.
Teasing.
He was like,
Sorry.
you were looking at the defensible, knee walls.
Yeah, like I said, it's down over...
Yes, the glorious tripping hazard.
It's the reverse side of the hill. From where you guys came to this, you just saw
Teasing.
what's leading on that side. Just want to make sure that we all get the right
Oh,
image.
yeah, no.
That's all.
I think we're all perfectly
I
clear.
can cast Arcane Eye and send an eye down there first before we go down there.
Who's
Can
eye?
can the eye see in the dark?
I don't know.
Yeah, find out.
You create an invisible magical eye that within range, you mentally receive visual information from the eye, which has normal vision and dark vision.
There you go.
Nice.
Wouldn't that be great if the component for that is a current living eye? So you reach over and go, doot.
Okay, that would be startlingly not great because
Bro.
the only prosthetic I can think of is the Eye of Vecna, and that's really out of character for me.
You think
Also, doesn't exist in this milieu,
you
No.
think there'd be something somewhere,
right?
but
The eye
Why do the
can look
bad
in
guys get
every
cool stuff?
direction, and I can move the eye up to 30 feet in any direction. There's no limit how far away from you the eye can move, but it can't enter another plane of existence.
okay.
Okay.
So I would vote
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go for it.
sending in the
How
eye.
long does it last?
I don't know. 1 hour.
Nice.
So I mentally receive visual information from the eye, so I can still see.
You're just aware
But
of
so
what
the
it
eye
sees
can
too,
see.
yeah.
Got it. So while she's getting that ready, Jacob, go ahead and do a survival check for me.
Okay, okay. 18.
As you are scoping the area,
We are in the woods,
so to
right?
speak. It's light trees through here. It's not deep
Is
forested
it woods or
woodland.
mountains? Forest or mountains?
It would still be in the forest
Okay,
category,
yeah.
but there's definitely a lot of still open space in between.
Then
where
it is
the
at 18.
where the bullet was definitely an open
Oh,
area.
is that what it was?
That's what it was. So
I told you.
That means absolute-
I read the monster manual too much.
Yeah, that means absolutely nothing to me, but now at least we know it's
It's an
So-
armored hippo with a bitey bit on the end.
So while Zellen's getting that ready, Jacob, you're looking at the kind of the crest of rock, this little area of rock that you're on right now, and you can see where it extends fairly far off to both the east and the west. You can tell that it might have been more of a major range, millennia or just countless millennia ago. And it looks like it's a fairly good defensive wall against things like that bullet. They would have to come to the surface and cross over to go down on this side. You think that it's a pretty extensive ridge of rock that runs underground right here.
Are you
Gotcha.
describing this to us?
Yeah.
So does it look original? Does it look like
It looks natural.
Like-
It's not a wall.
Oh, it
it's
looks
like it's a
natural.
natural like ridge of rock.
Huh, that's
He's just
interesting.
seeing different points of it where it crests up out of the dirt, moving in both east and west cardinal directions. All right, so you got your eyeball ready,
Yeah, my eyeball is
and
ready.
it just bounces or it floats.
It floats. It's
Oh
not gonna
my God,
bounce
that's
around.
horrendous. Thanks for that
Imagine the
mental
view,
image.
Hopping, bounce, hopping, bouncing.
I'm just picturing like the sound. Just like bouncing down the stairs.
Or it's like, oh, ow, oh, ow.
Slinky, slinky.
No, it's a floaty one.
I'm just thinking back to 3.5,
It hovers in the air.
All right, so
where
then,
there was a first level spell that
All
just
right,
made
so-
eyes blow up.
I'm sending my eye in, and
and
what
what's
do I
its
see?
move base? How fast is this thing going to be going? It'd have to say.
30 feet around.
It says 30 feet,
Okay,
range
great.
area. Your mental receive with normal vision
Second
out to 30
paragraph.
feet. As an action, you can move up to 30 feet in any direction.
Okay, great. Yeah, well done. So, as I guess you two are watching in all directions, Zelen, you're seeing through its eye.
It's
and,
watching in literally all directions.
Yeah, it's true.
And you're. Yeah, as it
But
goes
my
underground.
vision still works because I get it mentally, not visually.
Okay, so you're just describing to them as these descriptions come up.
Isn't all vision mental?
Yeah, but go ahead anyway.
That
What do I see?
The stairs themselves look solid, but the stairway going down into it, it's not cave-like. It's definitely that there was, a
It's a
sides
carved
to it,
stairway.
and it's actually like stones, like laid stone stairs,
Okay, so
and laid stone walls on either side.
does it give me the impression like this maybe was the cellar to the building?
That would be very reasonable. Yeah,
Okay,
to a lower
okay.
level of some sort. But it's still definitely stones that have been stacked upon, one upon the next. And as you move further, it moves further down into this. It is totally dark, and it gets down to an area that as you get down to, the ground, the landing of this, you can see right off that there is no stone floor. It's all earth.
Okay.
Like dirt has flowed into this, or it's the building itself off its moorings. Now, remarkably, the stone of the actual building looks like it's intact, but the floor that's in this area looks like it's almost been plowed, like it is so churned and turned over.
I wonder if it's been this thing coming in and the bullet thing. So I'm going to be sharing that with my compatriots.
Okay.
And so the walls are stone.
Right,
And the
not,
floor
not
is
solid
churned up.
stone. It's like bricks. But it's been like field stone that's
Okay.
been laid in. And
But
stacked
they're intact.
It is intact. Yes,
And but the ground is all churned
all
up.
sifted around inside there. Right,
Like maybe the bullet has been kind of swimming around in this
and
area.
and
possibly.
that the ceilings are about 9 feet high. From the dirt level.
And
to
what is
the
the
other side.
ceiling?
Again, stone. It looks like it was
Wow.
different kinds of stones cut into slabs and laid across in in long pieces.
Wow.
So so you're looking at the
So almost more tomb-like than cellar-like.
Or a
in,
very well made cell.
in a lot of ways, yeah.
Yeah.
So one way or the other.
Anything on the walls?
Well, again, as you're going down, there's one almost like not quite a quarter, a little less than a quarter of it. Just at the bottom of the stairs, there's an area that is about like where the whole thing is about 15 feet wide and about 30 feet long. The ceiling stones cross it across the 15-foot side, in a series of these struts, you could say, that go across. But right at the bottom of the stairs, there's a low area that looks like a wading pool. Now, there's still dirt that's inside it, but it's definitely, like by the footprint, a big rectangle that is a 15 by 30 room. And then there's this 5-foot by 10-foot, slightly sunken area in it that's also lined with stones. And that one's still pretty much intact, even though there's dirt that's inside it.
We've seen something like this before. The wading pools at the tower.
No.
Do you remember?
One thing I remember with underground water was the cistern in Warland. I don't remember much more about any wading pools.
There were and then there was a really big one that we thought maybe they were making like metal things in.
Oh, the foundry?
The foundry.
That we found Spencer Krebs in.
Yeah, but there were small things too. There was the smaller one and then there was a big one.
No, there was.
Does it strike me, does it seem familiar to me at all? Like we've seen stuff like this someplace else?
This doesn't look like that foundry. You're actually inside one of the actual foundry containers.
Right.
But the actual stone construction of the walls is reminiscent of the walls in that foundry.
Okay. And the well area, it's at the bottom of the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 feet square.
About 5 feet by 10 feet.
5 feet by 10 feet.
Yeah.
Do the stairs come in at one end? Do they come in the middle?
They would stop just shy of stepping down into that. So you could turn into the room without actually going
Without having to step
without stepping into that lower
And how
area.
deep was that depression?
About 3 feet.
About 3 feet deep.
Now, you also note that there is a door on the left-hand wall, one of the 30-foot lengths of wall that goes to somewhere. That's
A physical door or a doorway?
a doorway.
A doorway. Okay. Anything else in this room? Anything on the walls or anything else of note in this space?
Go ahead and roll that as a perception, and we'll assume that you're getting the eyeball real close to the walls or real close to the ground.
23.
23. That you bring the eyeball close to the stone walls, and again, there's definitely cracks through it, but it's largely intact, remarkably. And then as you start scanning the actual dirt itself, really close to the dirt, you're picking up on little bits of things, and you think those bits might actually be like pulverized bone.
Okay.
Because there's definitely stone, dirt, but then there's also these bone fragments.
Okay. So
Giants are making bread.
Should do you,
Something like that, yeah.
Should I put it down the should I send it the eye down the hallway?
May as well.
Yeah, it's invisible, and
Right.
it'll last for an hour. So
Right.
unless there's something really big and scary down here, we'll be fine.
Right. Yeah. So
And even then, it's not like we lose any hit points or anything.
I'm
Yeah.
going to send it down the hallway.
So that doorway is only about 20 feet away. It's about 2/3 down that long wall. And the connecting, adjoining passageway to a room beyond is only about 5 feet. So it's like a 5-foot thickness of wall between the space you were viewing a moment ago and you're about to look into. But as it passes into that area, you can see it's the same width, about 15 feet wide and about 20 feet in length. That 20 feet is within the length. It's like running parallel to the 30-foot room that's been right next to. It's just not as long a room.
I'm not following that at all.
That
So my
Here, look at this
first
map.
my first room was 15 feet wide,
wide and 30 feet long.
15 feet wide and 30 feet long. This room is now
15 feet wide and 20 feet long, but that 20 feet is
15 feet
centered
wide
on the 30.
got it.
Okay.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So it's almost like if I was looking at it from above, it would kind of be like a step pyramid. Kind of.
It's getting smaller as you go to the left.
Yeah, okay.
Now, there's a door at either end of that room, too.
Doorway or door?
Doorways, sorry. At both of the call it the north end and the south end. So it
So
either...
I came in the east end or
Yes,
some.
exactly right.
Okay. So what else is in this room?
Again, it's the same. The stone in the walls is remarkably
Does it have a
intact,
basin?
and there is no basin, but it is like just churned up dirt.
Churned up dirt, and does it also have a stone ceiling?
It does.
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to choose the door. So I came in. I'm going to choose the door at the south end.
All right. So as you direct the eye in that direction, it's just the next round. It's going to be there. It's moving, easily in that distance. That as you get back into that space, you can see that it's still like 15 feet wide, but it's only about 5 feet in depth. It's a very small antechamber. Go ahead and roll a perception again.
Dun dun dun.
18.
You can tell that at one point there must have been some like built-in piece of furniture, like a countertop or a work table or an altar that was made into this, but it seems to have long since been knocked free. But you can still see the line where something had once attached most of the way around this room into this space. But
Okay.
it's just
Any
long
doorways
gone.
in this space?
No, it's a
Okay.
dead
So
end.
that's the end. Okay. So then I'll leave that room and go to the other room.
And then as you, again, one movement round and you're there again, you're making the exact same notation. It's about 15 feet wide, about 5 feet deep, and that there was some kind of a counter or cubby or something inside there. Jacob, actually anyone could, I think. Everyone make an intelligence roll.
Oh,
Any kind of
Me?
a skill associated with this?
It's like more like memory recall. So
Oh, okay.
what might
History?
that be?
I'm not
No,
proficient, but
It's not even a history
well, it's my
something.
personal history.
It's that is a personal
What
history.
do you add the +4 when you do intelligence?
Yeah, whatever your intelligence modifier is.
Oh, 21.
7.
4.
All right, so
I mean, I have the numbers I rolled before about like being able to recognize like certain paintings or things on the walls. Do any of those come into play? I mean, 22 perception for Sarn-Tar-Azul on the wall of the Zalata's house.
okay.
That's the only one I think would be important for this one.
Okay. No, that wouldn't be it. But that 21 that Zelen got was great. You
Okay.
would say, Jacob, take out that rubbing of that short tower that we saw, the short column inside that ruined tower up on the
Oh,
ridge.
yeah, with all the symbols.
Right.
And I do that.
So as you guys are skimming your finger through it, there is a symbol that looks like like a vertical mark, like a rectangle that has a little rectangle inside it, and it's actually the glyph for tomb, that it means tomb.
And that symbol is here?
Well, that's the footprint of the room. It's like it actually matches the footprint of that room.
Oh.
Now, the
Weird.
other one, as you're pointing that out and you're looking through them, there is another one that is a shorter rectangle with like a horizontal like cross at the top and at the base of it too. And that's the symbol for temple on this thing. So it could be coincidental, but it's almost like these two parts of this building in the footprint, if it's not coincidental, is temple and tomb together.
Oh, wow.
I'll expend one of my spell slots to do my primeval awareness thing, and I'll try and detect undead within a mile.
Okay. There's no save on that. It just does.
No,
right?
yeah, just it tells me like searching down like maybe into that tomb that we're now suspicious of in there if there's undead within a mile of us.
This is a weird one. So it's a qualified no. That there's nothing that's active that way, but you're getting a weird presence from inside this place. And you suspect that all the broken little bits of bone that Zelen pointed out might have been undead things.
Oh. Someone already did our work here.
Huh.
Good
Fantastic.
for them.
Okay.
So a new character class, a super glue necromancer.
There have been plenty of like various kind of detritus swarm monsters.
Oh, that's
so
a good point. Yeah.
it's still just necromancer.
All right, so it sounds like maybe then potentially there was maybe some kind of temple or something above this,
Yeah,
and
some
these
kind
were
of structure.
tombs down here.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else you guys want me to take a closer look at? Anything else? I wonder if that basin that we saw in the front was like some kind of ritual
Yeah.
thing or something like that.
You'd said like a closer look.
Yeah.
Do you do the same thing you do in the first one? Are you going to go make closer examinations?
Yeah,
to it?
definitely.
Okay, so go ahead and roll a perception again.
Ooh,
Natural
nice.
20.
okay.
Congrats.
That as the eye, the field of the eye is moving back from the second room, the second major room, back into the first one, you note that along the right-hand side of the wall, just to the right of the doorway, across a number of stones, like I said, it's field stones been stacked and cemented, you can see what looks like the impression of a hand that looks like it's been worn there, like not like etched or carved into it as far as you can tell, but like that a person, for whatever reason, could put their hand into that shape.
Press your eyeball into it.
Okay, so potentially then that could open up an additional area.
All right, what's the range on mage hand?
If we pushed a hand into that.
Anybody have mage hand?
That'd be really funny. Just
That would
sending a
be awesome.
hand and an eyeball down into the dungeon forest. All right.
Anything else? I'm going to, before the spell
Yes.
runs out, I want to take
Nice.
a closer look at the bottom of that basin so I could see, is it possible that they like threw offerings into that thing and it's dried up? You know, like could they have tossed?
Ash, smoke residue,
Right.
bones.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess you already rolled your perception for this check period.
Got to be within 30 feet of me.
It of
That mage
of
hand idea.
Boris?
Yeah, if I cast Mage Hand.
Oh, I was still talking about
Oh,
like
yeah, no,
she's
we were-
examining that.
We were
Yeah, I'm
memeing.
talking about the handprint,
Yeah, so-
putting a Mage Hand in it.
Oh, okay, so that'll happen in a moment. So first with Zelen's thing, that no, I wouldn't think if there was ash or water or something in the past, you couldn't tell it from the dirt that's already in it. And if someone had thrown something, there's offerings or votives or small, statues that represent somebody or something, those things are either buried if they're small or are just long since gone.
Okay.
All right,
So anything else anybody wants me to look at before my eye blinks out?
No, we'll just.
Well, we've got an hour on it, so we can
Yeah.
just stand by.
You probably
you-
still have a good
Oh, that's
45
true.
minutes.
Yeah,
of
you can
time,
leave it
yeah.
down there probably as a standing sentry, and then we can go
Oh,
into
that's
the
a good
dungeon
idea.
now.
That's
Okay,
what I'll
so
do.
Maychan, what are you actually doing now, Boris?
I was mostly joking.
Like I
but
think that
can-
was just a
Okay,
joke.
so-
of-
okay.
it's a cantrip, so I can just go pip Mage Hand. It has to stay within 30 feet of me, but there's nothing like indicating a line of effect or a line of sight.
Okay.
Um,
Well, you could certainly be close enough to the top of the stairs to keep it
mhm.
almost maybe in the upper left-hand corner, that the 115 by 10,
Yeah.
15 by 5 room. So that might get out of your range, but 30 feet,
Well,
it's kind of a long space, yeah.
Yeah, and I could just walk over it with
Right,
Zelen
yeah.
directing me because the hand can be seen. It's a spectral floating hand.
Oh, I meant to mention that a bit ago, Zelen, that when you're looking at this, like noting the ceiling, on the top, it's just uneven ground over it. So you couldn't even see the stones that are part of the ceiling from above. Yeah, but Boris.
Yeah, so, between the two of us, she can steer me so I stay within 30 feet of the hand.
Yeah.
And then guide it to that handprint.
That's
put the mage hand in
hilarious.
That's awesome. Let's do it.
How far into the catacomb tomb thing do we have to go in order?
From the bottom of the stairs.
Well,
it's
no,
about-
I'm just staying above it.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's about 20 feet up, the one wall, and then through about 5 feet of that doorway, and then just right around the inside of that, in that inner room.
You're like the weirdest like metal detector. You're just kind of casting, walking along the top of the thing, just staying within 30 feet. That's hilarious.
So what does Mage Hand do in and of itself?
Essentially, it functions at my hand, just at a range and limited to 10 pounds. You can use your action to control the hand. You can use the hand to manipulate an object, open a locked door or container, stow or retrieve an item from an open container, pour out the contents of a vial, etc.
Okay.
You can move the hand up to 30 feet each time you use it. The hand can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds.
Now, I have a
Okay.
really good question.
Right.
How good are Boris and Zelen's hand-eye coordination?
Boom.
Okay, I'm taking you out behind the shed and shooting you.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Now, there's nothing in
I've got to hand it to you. That was really bad.
He's going to keep an eye on you from now on.
Yep.
Now, it even says that it can't activate magical items or something like that. However,
Might be a secret door. I don't know.
is it
Right, yeah.
Is it exactly? And is it like the essence of Boris's hand? Is it a paladin's hand extended, or just its own inert thing?
Oh, that's
See
interesting.
what I'm saying? Is it the essence? Is it Boris's own?
Those are
goodness?
you
I was
questions,
gonna
not
say,
me
yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
It just
so maybe
creates a
it's a-
spectral hand.
So read it again to me if you would.
A spectral floating hand appears at a point you choose
Okay.
within range. The hand lasts for the duration until you dismiss it as an action.
Okay.
The hand vanishes if it is ever more than 30 feet away from you or if you cast the spell again.
Okay.
You can use your action to control the hand. You can use the hand to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, yada, yada, yada. Read that bit already.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're directing it down there.
I would argue more so that it's my warlock essence than my paladin essence, considering it's a warlock cantrip.
I would too. Yeah.
But
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so directing it down there, and I would think their hand-eye coordination is really good, Jacob. Thanks.
seeing as she can see in every direction.
Yeah,
through
so
the
he's
thing.
like, edge the thing up, move it over to the left a little bit, right there, yep, in there.
Done.
And it does. When you see the mage hand actually going,
Is it a right hand or a left hand?
it better be a right hand, or otherwise the thumb's in the wrong spot for this thing. So
Well, I can conjure whichever hand I want.
so it's a left hand, and the thumb retracts and goes whoop, whoop, out the other side.
Yeah, once I'm 30 feet, I just cast it again.
And it fits into that area, but there is no reaction that
Doesn't
happens
happen.
from it. Yeah.
Okay, I
All
cast.
right. Well, the hand's down there. Will you stir up the dirt? I want to see if something like can tell. Like, is
We
it
could also
reading
just go down
vibration?
there.
I know, but here's what I want to find out: is there something underneath the dirt that's waiting for vibration on the dirt? So when something stirs up the dirt, like
Yeah.
does all sorts of snake monsters come out
I'll
or something?
stir up the offering dirt and the floor dirt.
Okay, so like right there in the doorway, you start.
Yeah,
you
the
just
floor
kinda
dirt and
lower
then
from
the-
right there.
whatever's in the
wherever
basement.
the
Yeah.
dirt is obviously uneven and
That's
churned up.
Everywhere. Except
Yeah.
for that one spot. All right, so he churns that up, and immediately something comes lashing up out of the dirt.
Neat.
Good call.
And does the thing have an armor class? The
I
hand?
think it does, and it has
No,
like like if it takes damage, it just disappears.
Is it going to eat your
Okay.
hand?
it doesn't. Well, it's not my hand.
or it's spectral? Like, can it be hit?
Nothing. It can't be targeted. It has no armor class. It has no hit points.
Oh,
Something lashes out at the hand as it's stirring, and it would like try to bite it and hit it. It looks insectoid and fairly large, kind of clamps and chomps in its direction. Does it dispel it? Or it just,
It has no hit points.
Yeah, so it
Yeah,
doesn't.
it
It
just
has
says
no
kinda-
capacity to be attacked.
but the hand is still there.
yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder
So
if
it's
it would
probably just gonna
confuse
keep-
the
it's gonna
monster.
keep on the
It's
thing,
gonna keep
yeah.
it- Well, then as that is doing
because it
and,
can apply physical force to manipulate things,
Right,
so it's
so-
probably being bitten. It's just
we
not
just
being
break
Right.
fire?
damaged.
Right. Now, as that happens,
It did it to itself.
Yeah.
another one attempts the exact same thing, and another one. In that area, 3 large insectoid monsters are dominating that area, each one of them trying to strike. And you can see that when that's not working, they're also spraying some kind of a something at the hand as well. And the hand, you can see that its index and its ring and its pinky fingers all retract. as no damage is being done to it, and they're just getting even more
I didn't know I
enraged.
could cast vicious mockery through this.
And your eye starts to sting a
I
little
wish
bit.
we had a tongue that could go.
I cast.
Whichever one it is took 4 psychic damage.
Oh man. Okay. Let's. Do you guys want to fight these things?
So this
so there's
is
definitely some kind of creepy spider things. down
roll
there.
it. Roll it as not an arachnid. It's more insectoid.
Insectoid, okay.
But Jacob, go ahead and roll your survival to see if you've heard tell of these. That if Ashton Garrett ever clued you in on these things.
Oh, nice.
22 on a nature.
I guess we're underground. This isn't my forest or mountain.
I think you'd have no idea on a 22. You've had no experience to even hear what these things.
Yeah,
might
because
be.
they definitely don't exist anywhere else, and there's definitely not farms where I'm from.
27.
You know that they are ankhegs. That
Oh.
you have heard of these things from.
And I actually know what those are.
Victor knows what those are.
Yeah, they're praying mantises that spit acid.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
are also really, really big.
Yikes!
And they're large monstrosities.
Okay, so we know
Why are
those
they
are down
here?
there. Do you want to go check?
What is
the,
it with you and burrowing stuff today? We're going to get hit by a purple worm next.
I guess
Do you want to check the?
I keep thinking
Worm
about
or worm?
I keep thinking about the property we bought in the Georgia mountains and there's caves on it, and I want to go down into the caves.
Yeah,
so I guess
that's
it's
why I don't
something
like
other than-
going there.
Are you psyching yourself out? Like you're just like, this is all the things that are going to be down there. This is why I
No.
should
Regret.
Wouldn't, wouldn't it be cool to find like the carapace of one of those down there?
Carpace, yes. Carpace currently occupied. Less, yes.
Carface Diem, no.
I'll go in there armed.
All right, so do
I
you want to
cast
go check?
bullet
Do
at
you
the
want to go
bullet.
check that one area that they aren't stirring in? Why?
yeah, like go
why
back
are
to the
they
previous
safe
one?
there?
Yeah, okay.
That as the hand comes up out of the string, the ground there, these things are
I'll
not.
just cast a new one, so that one just vanishes.
Okay, so you cast a new one, and it's just, I guess, in the place of the bottom of the stairs. If you brought it to being about there-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
Wherever
so
I need to put it.
that the ones that were there, they seem to be churning up, and you can see from your eye, Zelen, that more of the ground in different areas is churning up, as though the nest of them is getting really
Right,
agitated.
excited.
That there's at least 5 or 6, and could be more, that they're just below the dirt level all over the inside of this place down
Right.
here. So there seems to be a bunch of them. You'll be walking on a thin layer of dirt
And a thick layer of ankheg.
and a thick layer of ankheg
Oh.
beneath it. I like that. Yeah.
So then, what about the What about the undisturbed area? The area where the
so
offerings were.
as you go into that one, so you're sifting through that, and it is just under a dirt layer of about 3 or 4 inches deep. You start picking up and like dragging to the surface what looks like small ceramic statues, fairly crudely made, but like little votive style statues.
Can you bring any of them up?
Do they weigh less than 10 pounds?
Oh yes, more these things would be just
Yes.
like a couple, 3, maybe 4 ounces.
Because it'd be
maybe
interesting to
something
see what their shape is.
Yeah.
Like, is their shape going to be an Ankhead shape? I mean, is this like the Ankhead Worship Center?
Ah, yes.
What?
Local YMCA.
Wow. Yeah, right. So you get
I know what will solve our local wild pig problem. Worshipping the wild pigs.
success. That
I'm closer to God's digestive system.
you managed to get 2 of these, like in like a handful of dirt, and I guess it's now moving them up the stairs.
The
Yeah.
medieval crane game.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So you get up to the
yeah,
surface.
except it's like my hand.
Yeah, right.
I
Now,
could probably get like 5. I got big hands.
at this point, the ankhegs are not coming up, but you can see them like the top and across their back, that they're all at the surface level, and
The
they're
antenna
trying to
wiggling
figure out,
around.
what's going on. And it's pretty much everywhere down inside here. So to get into the back room, you'll be going through a lot of these
Can we get
things.
numbers, Zelen?
You would at this point have, there's at least 10 of them that you're aware of
There's at least 10 of them that I'm aware of.
That'd be an adventure.
in a very tight contained area.
Good thing we're an adventuring party.
All right, so the
Do I know anyone who can make armor out of these? Because as I recall from Baldur's Gate, that was some sweet armor.
yes, you do in Carnkelly.
His name is Leroy Jenkins, and I run it.
All right, so we bring the statues up.
And
You've got the wand to detect magic. Might as well do that at it.
All right, I'm going to do that at it.
are they magic?
They are not magical. They're very crudely, like just a single firing. There's no glaze. The detail is very minimal, but they are stylized people, except that where, like, on their head, all the features are minimalistic except for the mouth. The mouth looks more like it is the dominant, like it's almost like an opening in the head, as though if your mouth was at the top of your forehead, open your mouth wide. It's like their head is opening from the top, but like their head's tipped so far back, like a screaming mouth looking straight up. And both these, they're slightly different. Each one's like, crafted, and they're slightly different. Religion, Boris.
Okay. Do I recognize these as deeply cursed? Because they sound deeply cursed.
Yeah, they would definitely give somebody unattuned the willies just looking
15?
at them. That that these are, in essence, a representative of one of the deities that's on an evil side named Perfidion.
I share that, drop them, and crush them under my heel.
Okay, those are now destroyed. Thanks for joining today's session of The Empire's Edge. Stay with us and learn why Boris must destroy all the bric-a-brac, why Zelen likes making glass with sand and lightning, and why Jacob enjoys making dad jokes. Most importantly, help us fund the Zelen Camp at subscribestar.com/the-empires-edge. But most importantly, help us fund the Zelen Camp at subscribestar.
No, it's com.
Yeah.